Trace, and I will be doing it alone this week, and this is from my perspective. Sadly, Sam was too busy. He actually tragically died. He tragically died. I feel like I hear his laugh from time to time.
Trace.
There's always
Trace.
Did anyone hear that? April Fools.
Gotcha.
You just got fucking pranked, losers. What if like you're upstairs and your mom's listening to this and you start to hear her like sob and weep?
I think she would know.
My son.
No, my boy.
She forgot that it's recorded ahead of time.
Yeah. It's not April Fool's yet, we should say.
It's not, yeah, we're not releasing this on April Fool's Day, but it's like what we do with Christmas and Halloween. If it's that week, then that's the episode.
Yeah.
It gives us an easy theme.
Yeah, it's super easy.
Easy topic. Yeah. So that's a little sneak peek for you. But how have you been, Sam?
I've been good.
Been good? Yeah?
Yeah.
What you been up to?
Nothing.
Okay. You did tell me right before this that you've been watching The Tiger King.
Yeah.
Literally the best documentary series I've ever seen.
It's pretty good. They really...
For those of you who don't know, The Tiger King is a documentary series on Netflix. It's about a little character, the gay, mullet-having, gun-toting, tiger-owning redneck, Joe Maldonado Passage, also known as Joe Exotic.
Joe Exotic.
Now, if you remember...
I hold on before you say this.
Yeah.
I went back and listened, and we did not talk about him.
We didn't?
No, you must have seen him in your research.
Oh, goodness.
Trace thought we had talked about him on episode 12 of the podcast, President, Don't Vote for This Candidate.
President, don't vote for these guys.
Okay, well, whatever.
I thought I did because he looked so familiar.
No, I listened back to it. I couldn't find him. I was really looking forward to seeing what we said about him.
He looked so familiar, I thought. And then I saw that he ran for president, and I was like, I know him.
Maybe we talked about him in a different
mind.
episode. Who knows?
Probably. But yeah, he ran for president, so I thought that we had talked about him. I guess not. Still, if you have not seen this series, it is crazy. It has literally everything in it. Everything.
Drama.
Name something,
Action.
and I'll tell you if it's in it. It's in it.
Accused murder.
It's in it.
Arson.
It's in it. It's in there.
I don't know what else.
What about it's definitely in there. What about a gay redneck who uses meth to lure in two straight men? It's in there.
It's in there.
It's in there. But yeah, it is a crazy show. Sam, you're still watching it. I have finished it.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best documentary series I've ever seen. There's not a single person in the show that is quantifiably sane.
Yeah, they're all crazy.
Every single one of them. I won't go into too many details, but
yeah, you guys can just watch it for yourselves. But yeah, that's something I've been watching.
So yeah,
and pretty much the rest of America and the world at large.
I think everyone's watching it. It's the new big thing.
Because we're all cooped up.
Yeah, everyone's all cooped up, so we have to watch Netflix.
All caught up on their TV shows.
Yeah.
Why not watch this crazy thing?
This is the time. Yeah. I have also been watching a lot of Peppa Pig. On my own.
You also mentioned this.
I'm at my dad's house And for those of you who don't know, well, I have two very young siblings. And they, at least my little brother doesn't as much anymore like Peppa Pig, but my baby sister does. So there's Peppa Pig, and there are like these gems in Peppa Pig that you'll find. You'll find these gems of knowledge, and they really stick with you.
Okay,
I told you.
Which one?
So there was an episode where Peppa Pig's brother, George, has a balloon, and it floats out a window.
Okay.
And they go out, and George starts crying, and Peppa looks at him, and she says, George, in life, there are up balloons and there are down balloons. You had an up balloon. And then that's it. That's the whole exchange. And it really resonated with me.
It resonated
because
with
sometimes it resonated. I did say resonate. It resonated with me.
How so?
Because sometimes I feel like an up balloon. Sometimes I feel like a down balloon.
Sometimes you have up balloons. Sometimes you have down balloons.
And George had an up balloon.
I don't know what that means.
Well, it floated out of the window, so it was filled with helium.
Well,
opposed to it.
I understand that his balloon went up, but like you said, it was like a little, like moral or like you know how fables have like a lesson to tell.
A purpose. Well, it's kind of up to interpretation.
Sure.
Well, look. In life, she says, in life.
Anyway.
You have up balloons and down balloons. George, you had an up balloon. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Sometimes things go your way. Sometimes your balloon flies out of your window.
That's how it goes.
Just wanted to share that with you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
The other thing I wanted to share is that the floss dance, the ones that's taken the nation by storm. It took the nation by storm
a couple years ago.
In 2018, but here's the thing. A lot of brands don't realize that it's dead and gone, that the floss dance is done. The funny floss is gone.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the Sonic movie. It was incorporated in there twice. Shazam was a little closer, so I'll accept it.
That's true.
The Sonic movie came out this year, a month ago.
Yeah. It came out a month ago. It feels like last year.
I mean, I've been watching it every day since, so. But I thought that brands had understood that it was like kids' entertainment. I understand the Sonic movie. I get it because kids still like the funny floss dance because kids still like Fortnite.
Yeah.
But I thought brands got it at this point. I saw an Energizer commercial where they were proving the power of their batteries. So they put their batteries into a flossing robot and then inferior batteries that they didn't have the brand on them into another flossing robot. And time-lapsed the robots flossing and calculated how long their batteries lasted by how many rounds of flossing they did. So every arm cross was one floss, and the Energizer robot had like 20,000 flosses. And then I saw the pink Energizer bunny do the floss dance.
And your soul died.
And I was thinking about it today because I had to go move out of my dorm today. I was driving back and I was like, I don't know. It makes me want to beat up the backpack kid who made up the floss dance. But then I thought, I don't know if he's 18 or not. So if he's not 18, I want to give him a stern talking to. If he is 18 now, I want to beat him up for the pain he's caused my life.
Goodness.
And then I want to go beat up every corporation that still thinks that the floss is a good thing to do. And I'm talking from the doorman to the CEO.
Oh, no.
Every single one of the people who work in Energizer is going to feel my wrath.
Great.
Just like Papa John, the day of reckoning is
Yeah.
coming.
Exactly.
But yeah, let's get into this.
Anyway.
I'm sorry. I felt like I haven't ranted in a while. I needed to rant.
You had to get that off your chest. I understand.
I really did. But yeah. So, like we said, we're going to be talking about pranks. April Fool's Day is upon us. Be careful, since everyone is kind of cooped up. That gets the boredom juices flowing. So you might get pranked a couple of times.
Yeah, especially since we're telling you lots of them right now.
Yeah. I saw a video in Hawaii. It was this lady who was going to prank her husband by putting baking soda into ketchup because it has vinegar in it. It would explode. But she put so much in there, and she was trying to make it not look like there was baking soda in there. Because it turned, like, the bottom portion of the ketchup, like, where the cap is, pink. Because it mixed with the white powder. So she's trying to, like, very calmly shake it up. And it explodes everywhere. And it makes, like, it makes her fall down.
Oh my
because
God.
she gets shocked.
Yeah.
And she gets startled, and she falls down. And she, like, stands up at the counter, and she, like, looks up at the ceiling, and you can tell, you can't see it, but you can tell that there is just ketchup all over the ceiling. Because, let me tell you, Sam, it was a very powerful stream. So don't try that prank,
Don't
or
do
maybe
that.
don't use that much baking powder, or baking soda, or whatever one it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're going to give you different pranks to do. Maybe ones that are better, maybe ones that are worse.
I guess we'll find out.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
My first prank is kind of just mean. I mean, all of mine are mean. Because I don't know, I'm not too big on pranks, except maybe like jumping out from around a corner.
Boo.
Boo.
Yeah, give him the old scare. But if you do that to Grandpa, it might give him a heart attack.
Yeah.
So that could also be very mean.
This one is just you take an onion, and you cover it in caramel, and you stick a popsicle stick in it, and then you hand it to someone.
So it's like a caramel apple.
Yeah, and then they bite into it
And
and
you
they vomit on the spot.
Did I ever tell you the story about how as a joke, because I'm very I'm the type of person that will do a lot just for the joke, just for the meme.
Mm-hmm.
As a joke, I think it was me and my brother, maybe a couple more of us. Maybe it was my entire family. Like 20 of us. No, it was just me and my mom and my brother probably. We went to the store and I said, and I don't like onions very much. I'm getting a little better with them, but I don't like them at all.
I think I know where this
But I
is
said-
going.
I said, what if I just took a bite out of this onion? My brother said, I'll buy it for you if you want to. And I said, okay. So I carry the onion in my hand around the store. It was at the very beginning of, like, we had just walked into the Walmart, the produce section.
Yeah.
Does anyone else remember Walmarts? I sure don't. The produce section. So I was like, what if I bite this onion? So I have to carry the onion in my hand the rest of the journey. The cashier's ringing up the onion. I'm like, I'll just take that. Got some weird looks. Go out into the parking lot. I take a big old heaping bite out of that onion. And let me tell you, one of the worst experiences I've ever had. If not the worst. I don't like most types of cooked onion, but I'll tell you, I definitely don't like raw onion. Raw onion is pretty bad to me.
And you know what would make it even worse?
So yeah.
If you thought you were about to eat a
What?
caramel apple.
That
That
is
would-
true.
that
I
would
feel
make
like
it a
the
lot
caramel
worse.
would help though.
This
To some
almost,
degree,
this
wouldn't it,
almost looks
like-
like they painted it also. Which maybe
Ew,
isn't
what?
the best idea.
Just give them like a purple onion, so if they bite into it, they're like, oh, or if they see it through the caramel, they'll be like, oh, okay, it's a red delicious. And then they bite it, and it's a purple nasty.
Yeah, a purple nasty.
They should start naming onions like that instead of by their colors. So I've got my list is the 13 April Fool's pranks that went horribly wrong.
Okay.
This one's called the very first April Fool's Day. So this is kind of a history lesson too.
Okay.
Some historians believe the day originated in 1582 when France switched over the Gregorian calendar, which changed New Year's Day from April 1st to January 1st. Back in those days, the news took a little longer to reach everyone, and those who were a bit slow on the uptake, celebrating New Year's Day on April 1st, for example, became the butt of pranks, including having paper fish glued onto their backs.
Oh
Because
my god.
fish-
Could you believe that? I would be so embarrassed.
Well, I mean, people still refer to the easily fooled people as fish to this day. Have you ever
Do they?
heard that? Have you ever?
I don't think they do.
I don't think I've ever said to someone.
Oh, you
I don't think I've
fish.
ever. Well, I don't think I've ever been like, in my head, been like, that person is very gullible. But I'm not going to call them gullible. You're a fish.
What a
And then gone about my day like I'm a normal human being. If I do that, I'm psychotic. I'm actually
Maybe
a
the
crazy
French
person.
do.
Well, then that whole country is damned. And we need to rocket it into space.
Also, what kind of prank is gluing a fake fish to someone's back?
I don't know. Well, here's the thing. It says they became the butt of pranks, including having paper fish glued onto their backs, because fish are easy to catch. Like, is that a metaphor?
I don't know what that means.
Fish are easy to catch, so here's a little fake fish. You're a fish. I'm so confused.
You're fake. You're a fake fish.
That prank. You're a fake fish.
You're...
That prank did go horribly wrong because it's a horrible prank.
Yeah.
Maybe if I was born
Not
in the
funny.
16
Didn't laugh.
Maybe if I was born in the 16th century, I would think that this is absolutely the funniest thing that's ever happened to anyone. But since I'm in a 21st century mindset, it's literally the dumbest thing that's ever
Pretty
happened.
funny
to
to
anyone.
think about if their humor standards were lower or not. That was like hysterical. That they were like, I
500
went and
years
I
ago.
stuck a paper fish onto his back.
And then they literally keel. It's like that Monty Python bit where the funniest joke ever. So
Yeah.
they start keeling over, dead because of the paper fish. Anyway,
God.
your turn.
My next one is... So it looks like somebody has taken a bottle of Coke Zero. They took the cap off. And they have taken some string and tied a Mentos in the cap. And now they've put the cap back on, screwed it on, and clipped the strings off. So when you undo the cap, it will fall into the Coke and spray everywhere.
I'm a little confused on the logistics of it. So they tie Mentos to a string.
Well, it's like the tension is holding it from falling into the thing. So when you undo it, it'll just fall in.
Okay, that's pretty clever.
It's pretty clever. And
It's a
evil.
good one. I've got a better really evil plan to do with Coke.
Okay,
Or
let's
any
hear it.
dark beverage. Maybe you want to do it with RC
This
Cola.
is so much meaner, I can tell, because you're replacing Coke with something, aren't you?
Well, yeah. Or adding.
Okay.
A really good additive, if you really want to prank someone, is soy sauce.
Oh.
Now, let me tell you, you mix that sucker in there, holy crap is it
Oh,
bad.
no.
And depending on how much you mix in there, you could send someone into cardiac arrest because it's a lot of sodium too. So go a little easy if they have high blood pressure. This one's called I Swear I'm Not Dead.
Okay.
In 1708, Gulliver's Travels author Jonathan Swift set up an epic April Fool's prank. He's sitting there wearing those shutter shades that Kanye wore back in the day. He's got big chains around his neck. He's like, this is going to be so epic.
Yeah, I'm sure epic was the exact word
Was
to
the word
describe
they
it.
used. He pretended to be an astrologer by the name of Isaac Bickerstaff. He published a set of predictions, the most notable of which was that a celebrity astrologer of the time, John Partridge, would die on March 29th. On March 30th, Swift circulated an anonymous account of Partridge's death of fever. On April 1st, somebody knocked on the Partridge's door to set up funeral arrangements. Partridge, of course, was alive and well, but for the rest of his life, he had to insist that he was not dead. The prediction finally came true 7 years later, without Partridge ever finding out about the real identity of Isaac Bickerstaff. So what, 7 years later, he did die on March 29th?
I guess so.
And here's the thing. I'm confused, because, so I guess he's published... I'm confused. So he published this on April 1st, the year prior, and then... This was like the longest con. This was the longest grift ever.
It is epic in scale.
It is epic.
Well, and what this article isn't telling you is that it was actually longer than you thought, because 7 years after that, he killed him.
He said it's gonna happen. It's gotta happen. You have to die on the 29th.
You must die.
But yeah, he waits a year and then is like, he publishes the note, or the publication, the book. Waits a year and is like, I'm gonna get this son of a bitch.
I guess you have to have enough people read it, right? So you got to give him a year.
Yeah. Well, I guess that is true. Yep. Okay. That's crazy. What a guy.
And then it comes back around to April Fool's again.
Yeah, right at the end.
Very
I like
clever.
how someone did show up on his doorstep on April Fool's and was like,
I'm
what?
here for the funeral.
I'm here for the funeral. Okay, your turn.
My next one. So you take a pitcher, right?
Yeah.
You fill it with some. It's really evil. So you fill it with Kraft dinner cheese, like a packet of
Ew.
that, and you mix water.
I think I know where this. It's gonna.
And it looks like orange juice.
Oh my god.
That would be the most horrible thing ever.
I would throw up immediately.
Ugh. And then there's another one here, along the same vein. You take an Oreo, you take the cream out, and you put toothpaste.
Oh, I've seen that one. Here's a good one along the lines as well. It'll work especially if you have one of those Soda Streams. Fill the bottle with soy sauce.
Oh God, with the soy sauce.
And then carbonate it.
Oh.
Imagine how drinking straight carbonated soy sauce would be.
I think I'd rather die.
I'm switching over to the 28 craziest senior pranks of all time that'll make you raffle.
Okay. I can't wait to roll on the floor laughing.
These come from it's 17.com. Wait, am I not allowed to use this since I'm 19 now?
I think it's fine.
Okay. I hope I don't get sued over
It's a free country.
Damn right it is. They pulled these stories from Reddit, so these are bound to be good. Do you remember your old senior prank? Your class's senior prank?
I feel like it had something to do with toilet paper.
Oh, that's
I do remember
classic.
one year. Do you remember how there was a bear? You walk in and there was like that bear up on a thing?
Yeah, and they had the bear in the cage, the very real live bear in the cage.
I believe there was a dildo on that at some point.
Oh, that's
some
funny.
prank.
That is kind of funny.
I think that might have been a prank. I'm not sure.
I'd laugh really hard at that. Though I am very immature. Ours was really dumb. A lot of the seniors, especially the yee boys, just got in their trucks and just made a big circle around the parking lot so people couldn't get out.
It's just like annoying.
It is very annoying.
I would just be pissed.
I was, because I don't think I had to
You
like
weren't
stay
on
at
the
school.
joke.
Well, I had to stay at school longer because I couldn't get out. And then also in the morning, they had like hung up a sign that was like prison for sale. Best bid.
Like, are they saying the school was a prison?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was dumb.
Yeah.
Or I might have seen... They hung up some sign. I might have seen the prison for sale somewhere else. But they hung up a really dumb sign. And I was like, this is the worst. Anyway, we took screwdrivers with us to school and randomly unscrewed things over the course of months.
Oh my god.
Non-essential screws, so that whatever we were removing screws from was still left intact. A bucket of screws was later delivered to the principal with no context.
That's pretty good.
As long as it's non-essential, I mean, it's kind of stupid because then because it only works if they're essential screws and things like start to not work, but then that's just like way too mean.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a harmless prank, so it's not bad, but it's also not really a prank to me.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird. It's a weird one. Kudos though.
That's pretty good.
Dedication. Okay, what's yours?
This is you just take an air horn and you tape it to the door, like behind the door. And that way when it opens, it makes an air horn noise. It's that easy.
I think I get startled pretty easily, especially if I'm not expecting something. I mean, like every human, but I get like really startled. That would actually make me shit my pants. I would actually need to change my undies after that. About 30 years ago, the senior class bought 10,000 business cards that simply said Class of 1985 and hid them everywhere. Under couches, behind paintings, in books in the libraries, and ceiling titles. Needless to say, the cards are occasionally found, even to this day. See, that's a good one.
That is cool.
It's not... It's harmless.
I'd hardly even call that a prank.
I mean, to some degree it is.
It's kind of just a cool memento.
Just like imagine opening a book in 2020 from the library. You dust it off because it hasn't been opened since 85. But you're... and just seeing that business card, I'd be like, oh, that's pretty funny.
Because you certainly would have heard
figured
about
out
it.
The story. Yeah.
There'd be rumors about it. Like, do you remember I think we talked about it last night. The pool on the third floor of the middle school?
Yeah. We had a rumor circulating that I had even heard about.
Somehow for multiple years.
We have a 2-story middle school. 2 floors. That is it. There is no way that there is a third floor. But people insisted that there was. And insisted that there was a pool on said third floor. And this was a rumor that some people believed and some people didn't. But it was like the weirdest thing. And they thought that they had conclusive evidence because there was like a random door where the second floor would be in the gym. Like, you know, the door I'm talking about?
It's like a floating door kind of.
Yeah, which I don't understand why it's there, but still, I don't think that there's enough space up there for a third floor to be.
And a pool.
I
don't know.
Dumb.
I just think that's funny.
Okay. It is funny. But it's the people who believe it.
Now this prank is probably one of the most interesting ones. So what they've done is they've taken their keyboard. They've pulled all the keys off. And it looks like they've put like paper in it. And they've filled it with seeds.
Okay, I've seen this.
I assume it's wet paper, and it grows out of the keyboard.
Yeah, so it's like your thing is, and when they become seedlings, they're poking out. So it's like your keyboard has plants in it now.
Yeah, it got taken over. I just think it's kind of cool looking, the end result.
It is pretty cool looking. I did see that one, and I feel like I'd seen it a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. But it is a cool one. I think I remember the story being like someone's coworker had went away on a trip for a while, for like a week or so.
Yeah, and done that.
And they had done that to him.
Don't do this to people with laptops, though.
Yeah, if you pull out the keys in a laptop, unless it's like an older laptop,
I don't think they're supposed to go back in.
Yeah, laptops definitely. The keys won't go back in.
You just broke the keyboard.
Yeah, you've just broken their keyboard and replaced it with plants.
And then here's another very simple and easy one.
Okay.
You just switch some letters around on a keyboard. In this
Put
case,
it in alphabetical order.
in this case they put "you mad bro,"
Oh, that's funny.
and then
I
they
think
put
putting
then they stuck a big picture of troll face on the keyboard. They didn't really, but they should have.
Oh, okay. I thought that was clever on your end. I really almost screamed. But I think putting it in because a lot of people don't really remember the configuration of the keys. So I think putting it in an alphabetical order would really screw them up.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I think the reason our keyboards are set like this is because the more frequently used letters are easier to acquire rather than it being alphabetical and you're like going crazy with it.
See, I actually had heard that it was set up this way to slow down typing for typewriters, because it would jam if you went too fast.
Oh,
I don't know if that's true
that's
or
weird.
not. But
I guess we could look
somewhere.
that up later.
I guess it's an easy Google search away, but you know what? I'm a little too lazy for that.
I'm just not feeling it. At graduation, about 10 to 15 of us each had our own tubes of glitter, and at the end, when they say, we give you the class of 2012 or whatever, instead of the graduation caps, we threw glitter in the air. The principal was not impressed. What is he, a fucking fun hater?
Nor would I have been impressed.
I mean, it's kind of, yeah, I'd be like, I would, if it were me, if I were to get glittered, I hate glitter.
I hate it.
Glitter is the bane of my existence.
Anyone who's been in theater definitely knows the problem.
Oh my
Glitter.
god!
It never leaves.
Yeah, that's the worst part is that you get like one speck on your hand or your face, and you can't no matter what you do, you can't get it off.
It's like you'll pick one off your the back of your hand, and then you'll look at your other hand, and there's 5 more.
They multiply.
Yeah.
If I were one of the people to get glittered, I would be PO'd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I would have been too.
Okay. What's your thing?
So this is just kind of a suggestion whenever you leave your hotel. You know,
Okay.
because everybody's going on trips right now.
Shit everywhere.
Yeah. Exactly.
And do not clean any of it up.
You know, that's not a bad prank. Very mean and not very considerate to the staff, but this one you just kind of fold your bed sheets up into the shape of a person so that it looks like you wrapped up a corpse.
That would be funny. That is a good one.
Or it looks like somebody's still there.
I know that stand-up comedian Bert Kreischer, he has a thing where every hotel he goes to, he kind of leaves a similar scene. Like one time he left a pillow with his shirt on it, with a button-up shirt in the fridge, in the mini fridge, so it looked like a torso was in there. And he does a bunch of other stuff. That's the one that came to the top of my mind, head though. Those are pretty funny. That one is very harmless, and it's they look and they're like, oh, they got me. Until the one time where you actually do kill someone.
Yeah, and then Boy Who Cried Wolf.
And then they're like, oh, and then they're like, there's a body in the bed, and they're like, yeah, sure there is.
Yeah, sure it is.
Sure there is, Martha.
Goofer.
Oh wait, it's my turn. Sorry.
Yes. Yes, it is.
During my sophomore year of high school, the seniors covered the hallway floors with bubble wrap and managed to play elevator music through the announcement speakers. That's it?
I mean, that's kind of strange. How weird would that... Okay, you think that kind of sounds tame, but imagine you walk in through the front doors, Trace. The floor is covered in bubble wrap, and you just hear bum, dun, 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 dun. Over the...
I would think that I died and gone to purgatory.
Yeah, this is where you wait.
I think I would have. I think the thought that would have crossed my mind is as I was walking into school, I was hit by a distracted teen driver.
That plowed into
And
the front of the
purgatory.
school.
And purgatory or my hell is just the school with like eerie elevator music playing all over. I'm gonna read another one since that one was short and the next one is short.
Yeah.
Some seniors paid a company to move a big boulder in front of the main entrance to the school. The school then had to pay the same company to come and remove it.
That company
That's
is
a nice
genius.
boulder. I would, if I were on that moving company, I'd be like, what is happening? What does my life come to? Also, I don't think I would do it if they were like, yeah, we're pranking the school. Be like, no. Unless they gave me a lot
Here's
of
what
money.
I would have done. I would have done it, and then the school would definitely not have had to pay for it to get rid of it.
What do you mean?
Like, all they
Oh,
would have
you would've-
done is call me and be like, okay, lol.
So, okay, I see
And
what
then I'd
you're
say,
saying.
you mad, bro. And I'd have
You
a
mad
picture
bro.
of troll face.
That's what they should have. No, that's what they should have done. They should have painted "You Mad Bro" onto the big boulder with the
That'd
troll
been pretty
face.
good.
Oh yeah. Okay, what's yours?
This is a simple one. They got a new coffee maker, and they just had they took a little piece of paper and they put voice activated on it.
Oh, that's funny.
It's
I
pretty
like. See, I've seen some videos inspired by that where people will put like stickers, voice activated stickers on. The stickers aren't voice activated. They put voice activated stickers on like paper towel dispensers.
Yeah.
And then they find a way to like covertly film them in a bathroom, and they're like paper towel,
Paper towel.
paper towel, but it's also very obviously like a little wave your hand thing.
Yeah. And you just look like an absolute idiot.
I love those because they are very harmless.
Yeah, they don't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
Making me
had
eat an
interior-
Oreo with toothpaste on it definitely is rude.
I think I would explode into a million little pieces.
Like that ketchup.
I don't think I
bottle.
could handle the flavor combinations. Also, I don't think you're supposed to eat toothpaste, but we'll get to that. We had an interior courtyard in one of the buildings. There was a restaurant about 15 miles away with a Paul Bunyan statue out in front. Most of the school showed up at 4 a.m. to get the statue, driving down the expressway with the head over the front of the pickup and the feet almost touching the ground and the back with a tarp over the middle. The pickup was surrounded by 100 or so cars and trucks. Nobody was getting close to it. We got it to the school, hoisted it up in the center of the main building, and admired our work. The next day, the school had to get a crane to get the statue removed. Best part was nobody saw the 100-vehicle convoy with a 15-foot statue in the center on the highway. The worst part about that, and that's a pretty funny prank, but the worst part is that the restaurant was also pranked. And that
Yeah.
is not cool.
Not cool. They had a
Not
cool,
cool,
Paul
kids.
Bunyan.
They had cool Paul Bunyan. What's the blue ox's name?
Sal.
Betty. Sal Betty.
No,
Sal
neither
Betty
of those. I
was-
don't think either of those are in. Hold on.
The big blue ox was left alone in front of that. That was actually Paul Bunyan. They kidnapped the real Paul Bunyan. A lot of people don't know is that he's not like a tall tale. He is a tall tale.
Yeah.
But he's not fake. He's real, and he stands in front of that restaurant and he goes
24/7.
24/7. They feed him flapjacks. Did you find? I saw you looking up. Did you?
Yeah,
find it?
I don't know. I'm trying to find it.
I'm gonna guess that it's like blue. It's something really obvious.
It's Babe the Blue Ox.
Yeah. Babe, that does sound. Yeah, that sounds right now.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your next one?
You'll love this one.
Okay.
You'll love
If it
it.
has to do with soy sauce, I will love it.
You won't like this at all. This would be a pretty good prank to put on you, though. So you take cream-filled donuts and you put mayonnaise in them.
I would throw up.
I
That would
know you
actually
would.
make me
That would-
explode.
That would be pretty good, though. You would freak
I'd-
out.
I would actually throw up. Like, honestly,
You know what would be good? Tuna with, like, mayonnaise.
I would. absolutely throw up, and you're like, ha ha ha, the next one isn't actually filled with mayo, and then it's filled with sour cream. I don't think I'm ever going to come to your house on April Fool's Day or any time around it. Or I won't eat the donuts that you provide for me. I won't eat at all. Anything that could have a white cream filling, I will not eat it.
No Twinkies.
No Twinkies.
No
No
Oreos.
donuts. No Oreos. My next one is, my dad had a close friend whose grandpa owned a chicken farm. At the time, the chicken farm was going to put down a couple dozen hens because they were no longer producing eggs.
I already know where this is going.
It's already funny. My dad and his friend got some of their other buddies and asked the one friend's grandpa for the chickens. He said as long as they were gone, then he was fine with them taking them, so he got a bunch of dog carriers and stuffed them full of chickens. My dad had keys to get into the school because he would run morning workouts for wrestling team. So they took all the chickens to the school on Saturday night and hid them throughout the whole school. On Monday, they left the chickens there unsupervised for 2 days.
Oh no.
On Monday, when they came to school, the faculty were running around chasing chickens. To top things off, they always serve chicken for lunch on Mondays.
So they
Even
let...
on Sunday.
Hold on. Did they let them out for 2 days?
He said that it said that they took the chickens to school on Saturday night.
And then they came
So
back...
they were unsupervised for a day. I know these chickens were about to be put down, but not feeding chickens for a day is not a good idea.
Also,
so cruel.
Were they set loose the moment they brought them into the school?
It said they hid the chickens throughout the whole school.
Oh.
So I would assume so.
So they didn't let them out of the cages.
I guess they plucked them out one by one.
Okay.
And put them in different areas.
Because there would be so much chicken shit everywhere.
God, that's so funny. That is so funny.
It's a pretty good prank.
Yeah.
My next, I'm going to read two because one's pretty quick. It's a lot like one we had earlier with the air horn, but this time you put it on their computer chair, so when they sit down, it does it.
Okay, that is, yeah, you know how like the computer chair compresses.
Yeah, it kind of goes
That's
down.
pretty good.
The other one is kind of, it looks like a senior prank.
Okay.
They have thousands of styrofoam cups just lined up in this hall.
Oh, yeah.
Just covers the ground.
I see that. I've seen those a couple of times. That's like the go-to. But here's the thing. Who's going to pick those cups up? That's that just seems like a lot of work. I don't understand how for these senior pranks, how a lot of these kids get into the school to do that.
Yeah.
They like break in. They commit a crime.
See, if I was the principal, I would just say, all seniors come to the front office. Everybody start picking cups up.
All seniors go to the gym. We're having a mandatory meeting. Now, get your ass out into that hallway and start picking up them cups.
Yeah,
I'm not making the custodians do that because they're custodians and their lives are pretty hard already.
Yeah, they don't need to deal with your shit.
Yeah, I always feel bad for the people who have to do cleanup duty for these pranks.
Yeah.
If it's like if it's like me to you or you to me or anything like that, it's fine because it could get a good laugh or it could be very mean still. And then no one, like, I have to clean it up. Or if it's not clean up, I have to, like, pick up whatever mess I made.
Yeah.
But when it's like hundreds of kids doing something that inconveniences multiple people,
An entire school,
an entire set of faculty and staff members, and sometimes an entire staff of a restaurant, that's when I just can't stand by the pranks.
Yeah.
I'm just not down with the sickness right now.
Ooh,
Two friends of mine were part of a 9-person crew that broke into their high school at night. See, look, they're breaking in. On March 31st, entered every single teacher and administrator's office and classroom and moved the top center drawer of their desk. Note, this was a 1,200 student school, over 75 faculty members.
I would have switched them.
They then replaced those top center drawers in another faculty member's desk.
There we go.
sometimes in an entirely different building of the school. On the morning of April 1st, it was an absolute and complete chaos. Imagine being the teacher who like has something incredibly inappropriate in that drawer,
Yeah, they've just got like, I don't even know.
like a nudie mag.
Oh God.
You open the drawer to look for like your paper clips, and you just see like a hustler looking back at you.
I
What's
just
your
like
next one?
there's like one teacher probably that didn't use their top drawer very much, and they were just like
So
they didn't even notice.
one, yeah, they're like they don't even open it. They barely ever opened it. It's like the gym teacher who had the office anyway, who didn't put anything in his.
Yeah,
in
and
his
somebody
desk.
just angrily walks into their room and pulls their top drawer out and sticks a different one into it.
A completely empty drawer into
Yeah.
it. They know whose drawer it is. I would have to start putting like a picture of me in my drawer after that, just so it's easier to figure out whose drawer it is. Anyway,
Anyway,
what's yours?
this is my last one.
Okay.
This one is they took a little candy cup. You know how they have those? You sit on like your end tables, and maybe I'll have like M&Ms or something in it,
Oh
or
yeah.
nuts maybe. This one's
Yeah.
just filled with Skittles, M&Ms, and Reese's Pieces.
That's a horrible. Imagine going for chocolate.
So,
Imagine. I thought you were gonna keep talking. I'm sorry. Imagine going for chocolate. I mean, chocolate and the Reese's Pieces and the M&Ms. That's a good flavor combination.
yeah,
You got
do you know what
working for
throws it off? Like this, like super sweet, little tangy, soury flavor that would just like throw a wrench
Just
into
add-
all of that.
You have to really be in the mood for Skittles. At least I do.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they're just so overbearing,
Yeah, they're really
and
sweet.
sometimes if I eat too many of them, my mouth will hurt. But I would just I could just imagine. Maybe if it wait, do they have a strawberry flavor?
I don't know. They don't really.
I don't know.
They
It
don't taste
probably
different, do they? I
Yeah, they
can't
do.
tell if they do. I just take handfuls
can-
and just slap them into my mouth.
Well, the yellow ones are lemon. The
I taste the
green ones are
rainbow
lime.
trays.
I
eat
taste
the whole
full
rainbow.
The product says taste of the
Hold
rainbow.
on. Are you supposed to
dissect
eat
the
them one at a
rainbow.
time? Have I been eating Skittles wrong?
I don't know if you're supposed to eat them one at a time,
Because
but you're
I
definitely
take
there's
like the little bag and I just pour like 10 maybe into my hand and just take
I mean,
it
I
like
think
I'm
a lot
taking
of people-
pills.
Do you take pills like that too? Because you might be doing that wrong as well.
Not 10. God no. But you know, just the like. You kind of slap your hand in your face.
I don't think that there's necessarily a wrong way to do it, but the fact that you didn't know that there were different flavors is what indicates maybe some sort of
I
wrongness.
think what the problem was that I got M&Ms and Skittles mixed up because M&Ms don't have different flavors for their colors.
No,
I just
not
got
at
it
all.
mixed
They're
up, I
just
think.
chocolate. Some people do think that M&Ms have different flavors, and those people
Are
belong in
crazy.
a loony bin.
Unless you bought a different thing, like you bought like caramel ones and you mixed it.
And put them all together. But then again, that's not a different flavor. That's just an M&M with caramel.
Yeah, they would have different flavors.
I want to know.
All right,
I know
you're
that.
up.
Well, I do want to say something because this
Okay.
might annoy people. Earlier in the episode, we said caramel, and now we just said caramel. We both did it. My vernacular changes, and I guess Sam's does too. I am not consistent with how I
I say
pronounce that
whatever.
word. I just say whatever comes
Sometimes
to
it's
me,
caramel,
man.
sometimes it's caramel, sometimes it's caramel. I don't know.
Sometimes it's that delicious sugary nectar. I call it that. A lot of people don't know what I'm talking about, but I call it that. Anyway. A few days before graduating, we listed our principal's house for sale by owner on Craigslist, priced at about $75,000 below market, and scheduled an open house on the day and time of our ceremony. I heard a dozen people were in his driveway when he got home. That's kind of mean, I feel.
Yeah, it's a little mean spirited,
pretty-
you know.
but pretty funny.
It's pretty good.
It is a good one. You said you ran out, right?
I have a few. I guess I could read another.
Okay.
They just weren't quite. I know these last few weren't that high quality, but.
Well, I could just rapid fire some more of mine.
Circling someone's car with shopping carts is A, just mean, and B, I don't know.
Well, it's not even that funny.
Yeah, it's just kind of an inconvenience.
Well, here's the thing. Like, it would take about 3 seconds to, like, just not have shopping carts around.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really didn't care about your car, you could slowly bump into them, and then the line would be broken. This one might be our last one.
Okay.
We glued some coins to the floor in our corridors and on the counter platforms of the school's snack shops.
That's
we
really
then proceeded
good.
to record every person who tried to pick up the coins in the corridor and their repeated attempts, which of course failed miserably. The snack shop coin videos were even more hilarious because people kept trying to to swipe the coins off the counter, and they wouldn't budge.
Surreptitiously?
We played all the... Yeah, don't make me look bad. Don't make me look bad in front of the kids. We then played all the videos during the graduation ceremony in one corner of the entrance hall to the school using a projector we repositioned from one of the conference rooms. That's a pretty good one. For a second, I thought that they had covered the floor in glued coins, and I was gonna say that is literally the meanest thing that you can do.
That would be horrible. But this little
just like one or two here and there, that's funny.
Yeah.
I think I remember my dad sharing that prank with me. The first time I heard it, he told me about it. I think he said that when he used to work at a grocery store with some friends when he was younger. And I might be misremembering, but I think he said that they would like glue coins to the shelves every once in a while.
My only problem with this prank is who is going to actually stop walking when they see like a quarter on the ground and think, "Oh, I'm going to pick that up."
Yeah, what year is it? 1875? Things don't cost quarters anymore. Unless you want to go to a gumball machine, just buy a pack of extra from Dollar General for a couple of bucks. I always find that the gumball machine gum sucks anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, what happened today? Well, I'll tell you what happened
today.
Tell
me.
Today is
tell
March 30th.
Tell me all about it, stud.
In 1980... I don't know. That just threw me for a loop for some reason. In 1981, U.S. President Ronald Reagan is shot and wounded in an assassination attempt by John Hinckley Jr. 3 others were also wounded. For a lot of people, I don't know how many people know that Ronald Reagan was shot, but he was shot.
Yeah.
He did live. He was fine. Everyone knows Ronald Reagan. He was kind of a jokester. He really liked... his niche was telling jokes about Russian people.
The great communicator, they called him.
Yeah. He was a very good orator, I thought. He just knew... I mean, he had that Hollywood personality. He knew how to grab an audience.
Absolutely.
But I remember seeing a video where he's, like, giving a speech, and there's a balloon in the back that pops. And this was after he got shot.
Yeah.
So he goes, "You missed," and then the whole crowd just starts laughing. But what a lot of people don't know is that the reason he was shot is because he was actually confirmed to be a lizard person who had like successfully infiltrated our government, and John Hinckley Jr. was sent back from the future to stop Ronald Reagan, also known as Xenu.
Wow.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that.
That's not true, but do you know the real reason he got shot?
I do know the real reason.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that the real reason is also crazy.
It is very crazy. I could have said that.
He wanted to impress Jodie Foster.
Who was like 14 at the time or something. He had seen the movie Taxi Driver, and in that movie she is extremely young.
Yeah.
And he went and shot Ronald Reagan so Jodie Foster would fall in love with him. There's actually a musical about presidential assassins, and John Hinckley Jr. is one of the characters. And he sings a beautiful love ballad to, kind of about Jodie Foster. It's not to her.
Yeah.
It is a great song. I love that musical so much. But yeah. Let's kick it over to Sam's Holiday Corner.
I have some crazy information for you.
Okay.
My holiday is related to your today in history.
No way.
It is.
Is it Reagan Day?
Today is.
Because he got shot?
National I Am in Control Day.
Okay.
Now you're thinking to yourself right now. You're thinking, how could this possibly be related to Ronald Reagan being shot?
Yeah?
Well, I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
The purpose of National I Am in Control Day is twofold. On one hand, it is celebrated by people taking control of their own lives. They reassess what they need to do in order to gain full control of their lives, and they then make changes so they can proclaim, I am in control. On the other hand, the holiday marks the anniversary of the day when an assassination attempt was made on President Ronald Reagan on March 30th, 1981. On that day, Secretary of State Alexander Haig infamously said, I am in control, while answering a question in the press briefing room following the shooting.
Why would he say that?
I don't know. Probably because I don't know why Secretary of State would be saying that.
I'm in control now. I'm taking over. That makes it sound like he planned the assassination.
He's making a coup.
He thinks that he has successfully carried out his coup that he was planning. That is crazy. That's, I think, the first time that we've accidentally had match-up holidays.
Yeah.
Or match-up topics. But yeah, today's a crazy day.
I guess take control of the U.S. government.
Take control. Stage a coup.
Rise up.
It's a free country. Do whatever you want.
I don't think that involves overthrowing the government.
Well, here's the thing. What if we were so free that when we started to plan our coup, they were like, well, I guess we can't stop them. It is America. And then they just handed over the keys to the White House to us.
That's definitely not how it works.
And we'll call it From Our Perspective Land. And we'll mandate that everyone has to listen to our podcast.
We get a lot of listeners then.
Yeah, a couple 100 million. I think finally Honey would sponsor us at that point.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Well, we'd make them.
Yeah, we'd make them. And we'd also ban every other podcast, except for the ones that we also like.
And the ones that... well, just the ones that kept going after the last time we told everybody shut their podcast down.
Yeah. So all of them.
Yeah.
And we would have a public tarring and feathering of Joe Rogan, just because he is a competitor. We're not going to do any of that, Joe Rogan. So please don't beat me up, because I think you were an MMA fighter at one point.
Also, in what world are we competing with Joe Rogan in any sense of the word?
Well, you know.
It's like an ant competing with a person.
Well, I'm really trying to become the next Fear Factor guy, so.
Great.
But anyway, this has been From Our Perspective. Thank you all for listening. If you have any friends who you think might like the podcast, send them our way. Word of mouth is the best way to get it around. Also, if you have any ideas for topics, let us know. Within reason, we will talk about it. It always feels a little bit more fun to include the audience to some degree. Also, if you want to hear more from us, we have social media accounts as well. We post the occasional updates, stuff like that, little teaser clips from the episodes. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at FOP_pod, and on Facebook at From Our Perspective. Also, you can find us pretty much everywhere podcasts are found. If there's a specific platform you want us to be on, let us know, and we'll try our darndest to get on that platform, just to make it easier for you. Other than that, we release the podcast every Monday, and we will see you next Monday. I've been Trace.
And I've been Sam.
Goodbye.
Toodaloo.